All right, this morning on Eat Like a Local, we're going blue crabbing. That gentleman right there, Captain Fred McBride. You can't eat like a local unless you know where it comes from, and we're here 20 minutes from downtown. Blue crab season, baby. What got you into this, Cap?
My background is music. Specifically, I taught orchestra, violin, viola, cello, bass for 18 years. I love fishing. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to leave something for my son. That's how I kind of fell into fishing, thinking that when you do something and you're going to spend a lot of hours in it, you better love what it is that you do. My passion, fishing.
On the water.
On the water. I grew up really fishing for like speckled trout and redfish, but of course we can't sell those, so I got into black drum. Sheep's head was the first fish I saw, along with flounder. So I gig a lot of flounder.
I mean, your flounder's the best.
Yeah.
And your sheep's head was the best.
Yeah.
So, and now crabs, look, you're from here to there in a matter of no time.
45 minutes or less.
It's amazing. It's amazing what you're doing. You buying local stuff, this is your guy right here. That's where you get your crabs. What do you say we get out on the water?
Let's do it.
All right, good. Crabbing.
We're only going to keep crabs that are going to be 5 3/4 inch for the restaurant. We can legally keep a 5-inch crab. We just don't send those to the restaurants. We only send the big boys to them, and big girls.
The best.
The best. Right now we're in Baytown, Texas. And part of the reason why we're here is to mainly catch blue crab and large blue crab. The large blue crab, they tend to like, the water that's not as salty as it is like in Galveston Bay. Like over here, the water's probably maybe 5 parts per million in salt water, whereas on Galveston Bay, it may be in the 20s. It's just something about large male blue crab. They really do not like being in the salty water. There's a lot of science behind it, a lot. We just had to figure it out.
Now it's serious.
Oh yeah, gang's out.
Sunglasses are on, locked in. The blue crab is, in my opinion, one of the most superior crabs out there. And so to be able to have them in our waters, awesome. It's funny because I think the most delicious fish out there too are the ones that eat blue crabs. Like, it's just, that's how it works. They are the sweet meat, that back fin, that jumbo lump, so many different parts of the crab to use. People just need to get over like the idea that like it's difficult. It's fun to get through it. That's the thing. It's the same with crawfish when people are like, it's a lot of work. It's okay. Some things are worth it. You gotta work to get it. That's the best part. How do you decide where you're putting the trap?
Some of it's luck, but the intention is to put it in an area where we're near the drop-off. That's the intention. So we'll use the depth finder, or we'll use a pole, because we carry PVC poles with us, and we'll check the depth, and we want to be right at the drop-off, because that's where the crabs are going to come up off the shelf to come and eat. It is about location, location, and location. For bait today, we're using lead quarters. We use those because this time of year, they last a lot longer than if we were to use something like a fish. So this trap right here, this is going to be our trap. Our traps have our numbers on them. It also has our name tag on it, so there's no confusion. We use the PVC pipe to hold the trap in place, because what will happen is the barge traffic will come through and it'll suck the traps literally off of land. They have a lot of torque in those diesel engines. So this is my third cousin, Grant. Soon to be Captain Grant. He's going to captain's license soon. So he's pulling up the traps, and this one right here is a paper shell. So in other words, this was a soft shell crab probably about 6 to 8 hours ago.
That's crazy how fast it happens.
Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with the salinity.
Yeah.
So the saltier the water, the faster they're going to harden up. The fresher the water, the slower they're going to harden up.
I mean, good for them, right? Wow. That's amazing how fast that happens.
And within about 48 hours, it's a totally, completely hard crab.
That's crazy. That is literally crazy. When you think about soft shells, how fast, like we get them at the restaurant, packed in trays of, 24, and how fast that has to get a turnaround of 6 hours, and it's like not really a soft shell anymore. Captain dropped some knowledge on me.
I read this, so I can't say I know this. I read this. It says that they hold their breath as they're actually molting. which makes sense because we've had quite a few that have died mid-molt. It's really a miracle that they actually make it through it because of all the predation that's out here. You love a soft shell crab?
Yeah, so does that redfish.
They love it even more.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to that one and then a few more down the track.
Because after this, we're gonna probably want to sort because they're piling up pretty good. So when we're sorting, he has a measuring tool. And on that measuring tool, it has 5 3/4 on it. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna put the carapace, which is the end of it, on there. And if it's 5 3/4, he's gonna put it in. That crab right there is well over 5 3/4. That crab is probably closer to probably 6 1/4. So far, Chris, we've probably checked around 15 or so traps. So we might have maybe 25, 30 pounds. In here, we probably have about another 15 or so, and then we'll be making our way into the bay, and we may not make it into the bay.
I mean, if you fill them up before you get there.
If we fill them up, we don't have any reason to go any further. They'll be there waiting on us for tomorrow.
That's the best. Most people just catch. Captain Fred is like, why? I'm gonna catch what the restaurants need. I don't need to be sitting on anything. I'm not gonna sell it wholesale. He's taking care of restaurants.
I mean, I could do it in volume if I wanted to, but I just choose just to do it this way with the back door of the restaurants. Love the relationships. I've gotten a chance, of course, to meet you, Chris, and all the other top chefs that we have in the city, like Chris Williams, Aaron Bluter. And I mean, I've dealt with them all with commercial fishing.
I tell you what, there's no other happier moment than watching you pull up too.
I'm a fish snob. If I don't know who caught it or when it was caught, I'm not gonna eat at that restaurant.
I have a very strong belief if I don't know you and to trust you, I'm probably not gonna order it.
That's part of the reason why I try to sell directly to the restaurant so that they can tell that story and hopefully they can move that product, very quickly.
It's amazing.
If you look straight ahead at about almost 12 o'clock where he is right now, you see like a cane pole sticking out.
Yeah.
That's an alligator trap.
That's an alligator trap.
Yes, you'll see when you pull up to it, there'll be chicken hanging off of a rope. Same stuff you see on Swamp People.
That's amazing.
You only see that this time of year because this is alligator season where they can actually, legally harvest them.
Because they basically come up, grab it, and go down.
And go down, right. And back behind it, you'll see the actual, it's a stake in the ground. Note to self, don't swim in here.
Don't get in. Just like right there is downtown Houston. I mean, right there. We live in a city where we're on freeways constantly, but then all of a sudden you break off of those freeways and you get outside, you never know what you're gonna find. Here, it's crabs, it's redfish, flounder, trout, and then gator traps? Come on. Specific place, specific time of year, you don't see that, except for right now, right here. It's really cool. Orders are filled, now it's time for delivery. He's got work to do. All right, so we're at Josephine's. Captain Fred is going to be delivering some of the crab. I think it's amazing that you can call Fred up, he goes out, he pulls what you need and brings them straight to the restaurant. They never hit refrigeration, they don't go through distribution, they are straight from the water to the door. That is special. Let's get in and see Captain Fred. Car's pretty sweet too. What is technically crab season?
I mean, we can kind of catch them year-round now. They'll fade off when the water temperature gets below around 65-ish. And when they hit 60, they're going to basically go into dormant.
Okay, so when the water's warm, you want it.
When the water's warm, you're going to get them.
And these are gorgeous. You just got off the water. I find that what you do is super amazing because you don't have a distribution network.
My goal is to provide the freshest quality product that I can to my customers. So that kind of puts me in a smaller niche, but that's okay.
You're relationship building.
Relationship building. I want to have relationships with my chefs. I could easily sell to a distribution center, probably make more money, but at the end of the day, I'd much rather take my chefs out fishing so they can see the actual process.
You could go out, catch 300 pounds of blue crabs every day, drop on off in a wholesaler, and be done with it.
Correct.
But you have chosen a method of like, Lucas is going to call you and say, I need 40 pounds. And you're going to go out the next morning, catch 40 pounds,
correct,
and drive it right to him.
Part of the reason why I wanted to do it a little bit differently is because I wanted to be able to catch multiple species. So in addition to catching the blue crab, we also catch the stone crab claws. When the water temperature drops, we start to catch the black drum.
We also catch sheep's head a lot. So I didn't want to put myself in one box.
It's more fun,
yes,
in a way, right? You're
yes.
not doing the
more
same
challenging.
thing
Definitely
every day.
more challenging.
Yeah, but you'd be like, you know what, weather right? Weather's right now for let's go get sheep's head. Your history, though, is what really gets me. Because you went from classical music,
right,
and then teaching music to following your true dream. And
fishing has always been that. I was a senior in college, looking at the surf cam instead of studying for my exams. When I was teaching, you know, there were times I'd sit at my computer and go, oh man, okay, so I get up at 3:30. I think I still have about 30, 45 minutes. If I can run down here to the water, make a few casts or something like that. It's just being out there on the water really is the thing that really completes me more than anything, just that. What I've discovered is most people that actually pursue their passions, more than likely they become really, really good at it. Some become the best in the world at it.
If I would have had to make a decision when I was 14 or 15 about what I wanted to do, I wouldn't be cooking. I wouldn't have run restaurants in this city. There's no way.
Right.
You and I would have never met.
Right.
I'd be doing somebody's taxes and being miserable thinking about, I'm gonna go home and be the best home chef I can be.
Right. At my core, I'm still a teacher. So I'm always teaching my chefs, I'm always teaching new people about the sport of fishing, commercial fishing, the various species that it is that we catch.
You don't go to work every day.
No.
It doesn't feel like work.
Not at all.
And I don't think this is a thing where it's like, how much can I catch? No. It's how right can I do the program?
It's 100% that. I really wanted to really have the relationships with the chef and give them the best product that they can possibly have.
You only take what you need.
100% very much a conservationist. And that goes across the board with everything. That goes across the board with the black drum, as well as the stone crab claws. We don't go out and try to catch 100 pounds of stone crab claws and just hold on to them. No, I want to process them real quickly, get them out the door. There'll be more waiting for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of the waterways that we're at, right? Yeah. But if we didn't have the same mentality that you have right now, we wouldn't have a plentiful excess.
Right. People are, particularly in the commercial fishing side of things, it has a bad reputation. And all the guys that I deal with, none of them think like that. They are conservationists.
A good trap was, let's say 10 crabs. That is legitimately 20 pieces of jumbo lump that goes into a 1 pound container.
Right.
And you need in that container about 50 pieces for that 1 pound of jumbo lump.
Yeah, the yield is really, really low.
I really want to see people start to really get into eating more whole blue crab. When it's boiled, steamed, grilled.
Grill them, baste them with butter, a little bit of seasoning, not a whole lot, because you don't want to change the texture of the flavor of the meat. Yeah, put them on the grill. That's it.
Because I think anybody that says I'll eat crawfish should be eating blue crabs too.
Oh, yes.
Anybody that peels shrimp can eat a crab.
Yes. Whole blue crab, particularly on the grill, that's kind of like a Texas thing, really.
We're at Josephine's, and Lucas buys a lot of crabs from you.
Yes, he does.
So, and you have convinced him, and you're right, that the char-grilled blue crab is the way.
Absolutely.
So he's going to make a couple for us because I can't wait to see it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let me pick some Mac Daddies, dude. So we just take it and season the insides, the bodies, pretty well with our boil spice before we go on. So it's just building a little base layer of flavor. And so we literally just lay them right on, and they'll kind of cook in their own juices. It really retains all that really good flavor. This isn't a traditional version. This is kind of our version and how we like to do it. It is definitely a Texas thing. But see how it's like starting to boil in there? This is what you're looking for. Once it starts doing that, we can probably flip them in a minute. And this is something that you can do at home. This is an awesome home technique. Throw them on the grill, throw them on the gas grill. Charcoal is even better, live wood's even better. So see how we're pretty much cooked in here on the body. All that meat is kind of really solidified and cooked. And once they're pretty cooked, we're gonna take them, and that's when we sauce them. And we'll put them back on and let it all caramelize all together. Right here, this is a homemade barbecue sauce. Tomato base with lots of Trinity and garlic, hot sauce, Worcestershire, Creole mustard, and brown sugar. You want to kind of get it up in the body and all around. We'll hit them with a little extra salt, and then we'll just throw them right back on. Let some of that sauce kind of caramelize on them. And it's not really like a time per side or anything like that. It depends on the size crabs that we have. So sometimes the smaller, medium crabs go fast, and then the bigger crabs need a minute. So it's just something you really got to kind of look and see how it's cooking. That's why we like to take the top off as well, because you can really watch what the meat's doing. And then we'll plate from here. We just pile them up right there. A little Creole, some green onions. It really is that fresh, you know, like it's one of the best things ever.
When you look at this was swimming in the water this morning. And so when you start to break these crabs down, right, I feel like we need a little bit of a lesson. So that is about as beautiful as a blue crab can get. When you talk about grilled, it brings on that smoky texture, it brings on that smoky flavor, that little charry aspect to it. So as we look at this crab, this right here is like some lumpy meat. Then you've got the claw meat. This is all claw meat. But when people are like, I really want jumbo lump, that is just this section and this section right here, right? So you break this apart. And then you just kind of, how I work through it, break that. So this is where you start to see that lump. We should be eating more whole blue crabs like this. When you go out and you get a piece of fish seared and you got jumbo lump on top of it, like that is one piece of jumbo. There's only 2 of that on this crab. And you go out and you get that jumbo lump crab cake, you go out and get that fish with jumbo lump across the top of it. Basically, this whole thing is so you can have 2 pieces of that, right? And when we start talking about our environmental systems, we want to make sure that we're getting utilization from all of these products, and this is the best way, the most flavorful way of getting crab meat, grilled on a plate. Is it a lot of work? Aren't things that are really good supposed to be a lot of work? That's the best piece of crab meat I've ever had in my life. You're gonna get into this middle section. You're gonna get into these claws. Is it gonna get messy? Yeah, that's all right. But look at that. So sweet. The products that come out of our waters are some of the best in the world. There's nothing better than having a table full of crabs out in the backyard, sitting with your friends, eating grilled crabs, drinking a cold beer, having a glass of wine, enjoying your friends and family. That's the best days ever. From the water to my plate in an hour, just doesn't happen. Up next, we go to Captain Crawfish. So let me do this. We do the shrimp, the crab, the snow crab, and the baby octopus.
Snow crab, baby octopus, okay.
And then can I throw on like 2-3 pounds of crawfish?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yes sir.
Sweet. Like the Captain Special Blend.
Yes sir,
Right.
that is our most popular one.
Spicy.
All right.
And I'm gonna get a cocktail because you have one on here called the Grateful Dead.
Yes sir.
I'm a big Dead fan, so you really kind of got me tied in right
Okay,
there.
gotcha.
The beauty of these styles of restaurants are this, BB's, Josephine's, Crawfish and Noodles. They're crawfish houses, yes, but they're also boil houses. So you can get the blue crabs, snow crabs. I got baby octopus today. I have no idea. I just know it's going to be good if it's in a crawfish boil or a seafood boil. And then a Grateful Dead cocktail. I'm in.
Triple sec tequila, rum, vodka, and gin.
It's perfect. It's like a Long Island iced tea,
Yes,
but for
sir.
deadheads. I like it. It smells fantastic in here.
All right, here we go. We got the seafood combo 3 with the shrimp, blue crab, snow crab, and baby octopus.
The 3 pounds of live oak crawfish here, special blend.
Did you need some gloves or a bib?
I'm all right, I think. Sometimes a bib. I get a little messy, but that could be like middle of the day too with just like a hot dog.
Yeah.
All right, this is what we're here for, right? Man, tell me that isn't perfect. When I said I didn't need a bib, I may have lied. Good way to look at things before you order. Look at the people that have eaten here a few times. You can tell. Are they putting gloves on? Are you gonna need to put gloves on? Are you gonna need a bib? This, super saucy. Yeah, they're smart. But look at these little hammers. Little octopus. But I mean, look at that. Big old Captain Fred. Crabs. Happiness from within right there. I have crawfish all over the place. You know, so you either get that traditional like Cajun boil house where it's boiled and soaked in the seasoning. This is kind of, and then there's the Via Cajun where it's boiled quickly and then tossed in it. And this is the combo of both. So you get to taste the seafood, but you get to taste the boil, you get to taste the seasonings. It's rich. That is delightful. Well, there's 3 other like levels of heat after what I ordered. If I want any more than this, you better be in for a ride. So this is the jumbo lump. People say I like lump crab meat or I like jumbo lump. This is that back leg right here. All right, that's where it comes. Here we go, one more time. Most beautiful piece of the crab. We are lucky to be living in the Gulf Coast area and having these kinds of products at our back door, and people like Captain Fred that are gonna go out and source those things for us and bring them to restaurants. And Captain Crawfish, bring the best of what our waters have. And then when you get it into crawfish season at the same time, as we have an early crawfish season this year, it's really beautiful. I think crawfish and crabs are communal dining. It's one of those things you sit with a bunch of friends and you just talk and you have a good time. Have a cocktail or a cold beer. Pick crabs. It's a beautiful way of life. Pretty cool, right? Now let's see what else. What I got in here? Snow crab. I'm not even gonna clean up. I'm just gonna rip this thing open. That's good. But here we go. It's that time of year. Crabs, crawfish. All of this just says happy in my life. And you can always try different things. Like, I never thought I'd have baby octopus in my crawfish or crab boil. These guys do a good job. If you're up in Humble, head on up. We live in a perfect ecosystem of aquaculture and farming to be able to get crawfish and crabs. It all goes to thanks to folks like Captain Fred, sourcing crabs for us, getting black drum for us, getting stone crabs out of our water. And then we got all the crawfish farmers, and then the people that cook them for us. What a day. Amazing, right? But then we can come sit in a restaurant up in Humble where Captain Fred's brought his blue crabs. We can have, you know, Louisiana and Texas crawfish, shrimp out of our waters. Beautiful, huh? All right, what's next? Another crawfish. Makes me happy. All right, so we want to know where you're eating, where you're drinking. Let us know. Hit us up on Instagram. Eat Like a Local TX. Tell us where you're at. Tell us what your local is. That's what we want to know. We want to come see that too.